You are now listening to the I Think I Love My Wife podcast. And this is your best friend's best friend, Chidozie Okafor, ready to take you on another journey. Are you with me? Because I'm ready. Let's get it. In this episode, I continue to recap with Paul, Ant, and Dorian as we go deep on several topics that you guys were interested in and answer many questions that you guys brought up throughout season 1. Things like how to know when someone's worth it, the difference between dating and courting, and the important things to look for in a partner. You'll also hear them give me a hard time about my dating experiences and advice on when I should text, call, or FaceTime. So how do you get to that point? And I know we didn't talk about this in our prep, but I'm hoping I get him on season 2. He's been married for about I would say almost 10 years. So and he has I think 3 or 4 kids. He's a person of wisdom that I always talk to when it comes to relationships. And he told me 25% of people are natural givers. They just give. Everyone else is selfish to a degree. I don't know who he cited for that, but I think it's kind of accurate. And so I'm a person that I want to get to the point where I meet a person that this might not be the best word choice for it, that's worth that sacrifice. I hate waking up, but I don't mind waking up for you. I hate doing this, but I don't mind. For you, I'll do it. Even though as much as I hate it, I will do it for you. Is that too much pressure to be when you're evaluating people, be man, do I want to wake up at 4 a.m. for your ass? Or do I want to do how do you, in terms of when you're meeting people and you're getting to know them, and you're evaluating, is the person I want to be with? Is that a lens that's you looking for perfection? Not to say they're going to do all the things that you want, but I feel you have to love someone enough to want to do all these things that are probably not in your natural orbit, to do. And so as I think about myself, I'm I want someone that I care about. That would be no issue for me. But I want to make sure they're worth it. Because you can do it for anybody, and then it becomes resentment, you know? And so, me saying that to y'all, what do y'all say to me?
I don't have any stats or anything like this, but through my personal experience, I feel when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
It's you just, and I think if everybody, most people, if they went and sit back and reflected, and I'm sure there's some outliers, if you were really reflect on your relationships that you've had, you knew pretty early on this was special. You may not knew exactly what it was, but there was something that you felt. There was a way that you saw them, the way that they saw you, the way that you vibed. And obviously in the moment you probably didn't know because it was a new feeling. But I just think when you know this person is someone that you can literally, risk it all and put the money down for it, And then the other side of that is you might feel that sometimes and you could be wrong. But I feel for the most part, when you get older and had multiple relationships, you get to a point where all right, this is at least worth me putting all my chips in and seeing where the cards land.
So on that note, so when you know, right? And I'm sure that there are data points that you've gotten to that made you feel that way, right? This is for I guess y'all preaching or y'all speaking to the women that are listening. Is there a sense of stuff that or things that the woman they showed you, whether how she held you down or whatever, that gave you the data points for you to recognize that or see it? Because for me, in my newly interactions of being back out in this dating world, I feel there's a lot of expectations on women for men to show them hey, I want you to court me, I want you to show me this, I want you to do this, da 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 da. And I feel I get along with a lot of people. I'm a personable person. We can kick it, be cool with. But I don't know if you're the person that's gonna hold me down. And oftentimes you have to be so involved with a person before they show you those things. And so I'm just trying to recognize where that push-pull is between, were y'all in a state where she felt comfortable enough to show you, or you felt that was just that person's general demeanor that let you know, You know, I know there's not a right or wrong answer in it, but just like what lets you know.
Mine was in the middle of chaos with the
Was you on
that
your?
trip.
Were you down 45 South?
Yeah.
You was like,
That's where mine was.
I'm seeing how she's handling this and
Flipping through Fairfield.
Bruh, that's where mine was.
She is different.
I was like, oh, she's real. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is it.
You're like, she didn't blow my car up. She wasn't talking crazy.
Bruh.
This is a different
Boy,
one.
Dorian was thinking about waiting to exhale the whole drive.
I'm like, bruh, man.
That was you had 4 hours to know.
That's the longest drive of my life, man.
Oh man. Yeah, no, but like, how did you guys know?
I think that if you really look at your close friends, you know, take aside relationships, like you've become close to them through like some really high intense like experiences, you know whatever it was. You might have traveled to a different country,
some depth,
and
good or bad.
You've been through some stuff,
Yeah.
and it just only brought you closer. You know, and it's hard to see that. So, and I only say that because I think everything's about context. Like you might meet somebody and like say it's out for drinks and you're with a bunch of friends and whatever. And you might not necessarily see how that person reacts to something or whatever, but something could happen and then you see how they respond or how they treat their friends. I think it's a really good indicator as a man looking at a woman, especially if they're in a group of women, how they treat their other friends. You know, are they respectful? Are they treating them equally? Are they like, you know, do they think they're better than or less than, or how, you know, it all kind of, even if you're not even consciously thinking about it, you're processing that to some degree if you have that level of experience or maturity. So, but it's really when you get in the thick of it with, you know, that person that you can really, or you're in a situation like a car drive,
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Where you can really see somebody because you're processing, like obviously what you would have done or what could have happened, or what should have happened, and then you come out with this great outcome, and you're just like, or an outcome that you are like, okay, this is what this tells me about them. But I think we all do it subconsciously or intentionally, where we're watching how you move, how you react.
Yeah, and I'm taking no talk about me because I'm trying to figure this shit out too. Like I think I'm just in a stage where like I just went through something. I'm ready to get back in it, but like I'm not trying to be out here doing a whole bunch of work for someone that's not also invested in doing that work too. And like I said, I think I was talking to B-Lou and Justin. I was like, I remember I texted someone, and like, you know, for a living, we in professional services, like we talk to people, strangers, for a living and build that rapport. And I'm like, I know my like text game and my conversation game isn't, I won't say it's strong. I think it's strong, but I won't say it. But it ain't weak. And so I'm talking to someone and I'm just like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? They're just like, fine. And it's like, I'm like, what do you do with that? You know, like what am I supposed to? And so like, a person you met, and it's been like 4 weeks. I haven't asked that person to go out because our text conversations have been whack. Like I don't want to go like, well, I don't even want to take you out.
Well, number one, if you texted someone for 4 weeks, there's your problem.
No, but I can text people for a long time.
But
there's some truth to that though.
Like my thing was,
it's been 2.
And from what I recall, when I was single and dating, like I would not, if I didn't meet you, or like say we got introduced, however we met, like we were going to meet within like, I would at least set up something within 48 hours. Because I was like, we could text for, like I said, like for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we meet and we just have no chemistry. So I think you got to get in front of that person and really like, see, even Paul's son agrees with me. He's like, I feel you.
No, I think he agrees with me. He's like, whack. No, listen.
Because you think about how you were like, you could, women will be like, all right, he just texted me this. What should I say? And then like, and guys do this.
Just say what you normally say.
That's what I'm saying. But like, so you ain't getting the real, in my opinion, the real person through text.
I hear you, but I'm just like, listen, to have to me, and I recognize this to me, to have a conversation via text is like the easiest conversation you can have because you're not pressed to respond immediately. You can think about what you want to say sometimes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's going to be intellectual.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know.
It's
My
not a good indicator.
My point
of
is not saying like, oh, this is gonna be my wife.
I'm 6'3" on text message.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
6'5".
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
You can tell they real height
Just south of 6 feet.
by the fact they made that comment. But my point, I'm not saying you're gonna find your wife via text, but I'm saying like if I'm out here, right, and you meet people, you know, we go out, you meet people. Hey, let me get your information. We should continue this conversation. And like the follow up of it is like me and one individual, it's just kind of like we just texting. It's just like not even saying it's special. It's just normal give and take in the conversation. And you meet someone else, and it's just like,
So can I parallel this?
nah. Like it's just like I feel like I'm doing a podcast. I gotta ask you 1,000 questions, and there's no like take. It's just like, why would I want to go see you in person? Like,
Okay, so let's talk about this. So like my text messages with my wife.
yeah,
now-
this is very different.
No, it's not. Yes, granted, we live together and stuff like that. But when you have a kid, you communicate significantly more throughout the day.
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
But like our text messages are not like this. Interest is, hey, can you pick up the kid today? Yes.
no, y'all are very much direct.
No.
We try to
But I'm
handle
saying,
shit. We try
but
to-
like when we are trying to have real dialogue, it's not happening over text message.
Yeah.
Like if we have something that we need to talk about, it's not happening over text message. The only thing that may happen, hey, can we talk about this tonight? Yes.
Because y'all together, bro.
Yeah.
I've been there. Like,
But
Let
if
me
you
give
if
you an example.
If you set it on faulty foundation, it's gonna end on faulty foundation.
no, I don't. Your son said no. But no, listen. I hear you because when I was in a relationship, the conversations we have via text were like logistics. Like, hey, you getting this? I'm picking it. Like, I get that. But like in this day and age, sorry, y'all haven't been in the game for a while. You meet a woman. You meet a woman.
We're not.
You meet a woman. Some of them don't want you calling them immediately because like
that's a red flag.
no, it's not. It's not. No, it's not because I don't know if I want to like talk. Like I think there's. And me being we all '80s babies. I think like our natural inclination is like call because the generation we grew up in, time frame we grew up in.
True.
Yeah.
But I've recognized that for some people, and you're dating younger,
Yeah.
the phone call is a lot more pressure than like a text. Especially when you first meet someone, maybe y'all haven't gone out yet, and all these things. And so I'm just saying, like, it's not. My point is, it's not hard to have a regular ass conversation via text. I'm not saying it's gonna mean anything in particular, but when it's like we're talking about basic standards,
Okay, I have a
when the
question.
text conversation,
I got a question too.
yeah, I know that. Listen, I know you have a conversation. But my point is, when the text conversation is dry as fuck, like bruh.
Let me. I'll give you my example, and then I know everybody has to chime in. So like when
All my levels are out, y'all laughing.
So
It's good. It's good. Let me adjust my levels.
so me when
Oh, the girl at daycare didn't text you back either.
so
I'm frustrated too.
me and my wife met through a mutual friend, and it was just like, here's her number, here's his number, y'all start texting. So we started texting, and I was like, okay, we texted for a couple days. Let's not even talk, like let's FaceTime. So we FaceTime.
That's a lot for you. Did you
It
schedule it? You just
We
pull
did.
up.
No. We scheduled it. We were like, you know, what, we'll FaceTime tonight, blah, 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 this time, whatever. And then we talked for like an hour and a half. And it was like the conversation flowed and it was good and we had rapport. Because you're in like an awkward position. I never met you before. We've only been texting. And now not only am I going to see you, I'm going to talk to you. I don't necessarily recommend that, but I recommend at least getting on the phone and seeing if they can hold a conversation. And to me, it was just like, okay, because she lived in New York and I was in Dallas, is why the FaceTime was important to me.
I get that.
But you're telling me, but like the text messages don't mean, in my opinion, don't mean nothing. Because like you getting advice, you just writing stuff. Like I can write you a book, but I ain't gonna talk to you about a book.
No, I feel
but
you.
like
let's say your scenario. You gave us this example, right? Friend connected y'all together. You said, "Hey, I know both y'all great people. I think y'all will work." And you said y'all texted a little bit prior to like the FaceTime. Mm-hmm. Had in that text message, you like, "Hey, and such and such connected us. How you doing? How's your day been?" And she was like, "My day was great."
I mean,
and then you're like, "Oh, so like, what you got going on this weekend?" Nothing.
So
and then you were like, "Oh, so like, what do you do for fun?" I like to read. Like, you probably wouldn't have made that FaceTime conversation.
No. Well, I think that's that. So the thing is, for me, it was
Sorry.
that was probably. I don't think it was that bad, but that was why I said, look, let's text message. I mean, let's FaceTime because
You want to get the information
I
you
want.
needed.
Yeah, because people are gonna be safe. They're not gonna be like. They're not gonna
Let
show.
me tell you
those
all
people.
my business. I ain't even seen you before.
You know what I'm saying?
So
But I've seen this person.
Okay,
We had a good conversation.
Okay, so here's my question. All right.
Yeah, ask me a question. Shit.
Well, I'm gonna ask them a question, and then I'm gonna bring it back to you.
Yeah, we're
All
about to kill this bottle.
Yeah, no, I need another pour.
I got some more.
But okay, married guys,
Bring out this Japanese whiskey.
and you already answered yours. So Dorian, how long was your relationship a text message relationship?
So what was different for us, like I would say we start texting and it was an actual conversation through text.
Yeah.
So that intrigued me to actually want to have a phone conversation.
Okay.
And
Dorian, you were intrigued by the conversation.
I was.
Had you not been intrigued,
I don't know where we would be.
okay, thank you. But keep going.
So yeah, I would say to answer your question, we probably text for about 3-4 days. And then we
Were these like back-to-back days, or these were like...
no, these was back to back.
Shit, I gotta do better.
Yeah, these was back to back. These
No,
was,
no, 'cause
like
there's
we
a-
was
there's a
legit having conversations.
I
I'm
mean,
like, okay,
I'm
I
very-
really want to have like a phone conversation with this person now. So
Yeah, and you wanted to, based off of... I would have... Correct me if I'm wrong. Based off of how the first time went, okay, this was good. I want to have another one.
Yeah.
And that one was a little bit better, because you're probably comfortable. You're more comfortable.
Yeah.
We had some things that we connected on, bonded on, a little bit better. I want to have more. Totally get it, you know? But it's just like...
So is an indicator for you, like based off the text message? Like,
I just feel like in that particular
conversation
situation,
doesn't go-
it was just like, I assumed you gave me your phone number because like we met at a mutual friends thing, and we talked. We had a good conversation, which is what propelled me to ask her for a phone number. Walked her to a car, gave her a hug. It was cool, and so I texted her, and then it was like on some like very dry. And I would assume like you're giving me your information because I would hope that like there's something about me that you're interested in, and I was interested in as well.
Wait, but you
You
met her
make- you
face to
making a-
face.
Yeah, I met her face to
You're
face.
making a lot of assumptions that I don't think are
What the fuck you give me your phone number for? Like, why you give me your number?
because I think women just do that.
That's stupid.
I
But
agree.
also, like, who wants to be in a text message relationship?
No one said that. But what I'm saying is, I'm just saying like,
But okay, what if she wanted
Oh, you
you
guys
to
are
call?
killing me.
No,
she
what
might just say that. Like, I don't understand. Oh, because some women don't want you to text them,
But see,
and some women don't want you to call them.
You're upset.
I'm not upset at all.
Okay,
Actually,
you are.
I'm
you
not
are-
tripping at all.
He is very calm, as
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
tell.
I've been drinking, but I'm not. Listen, no one's tripping.
But look, so like,
I don't understand.
you had an expectation of X to happen, somewhat. So stay with me. You had an expectation that if this conversation through text message is intriguing, then we can go further.
Yeah.
Her expectation on the other side of the phone could have been, I expected this dude to call me so we could get together face to face. Right? That could have been her
Very,
expectation.
very true.
Right? So your expectations aren't met, hers aren't met, and you're judging her for being dry when she wanted to talk to you face to face. Possibly.
No, true. And what I'm saying is that I just don't get how. When I say dry, what happened? Say what you gotta say. we talking. What's up?
I was watching the Patriots game on in the background.
Texas high school.
He wanted to watch some Texas high school football. No, my point is, like at this point in time, like you trying to get to know people, right?
Yeah.
That's the common thread in the situation. And we're talking about my situation because I think it happens often. And what I'm saying is, we met. It was cool. It felt normal, despite your expectations of me. My expectation was the fact that like it would be similar to some degree in the conversation or vibe that we had. And so to me, I'm at a point in life when it starts to feel very one way, and we both are like, I don't know you like that yet to know if I like you yet. I'm like, I'm good. Like it's not that serious for me to feel like I'm pulling teeth, in essence, to get to know you.
Well, look.
And so like, example, I'm doing this weak ass text message, and we had a conversation. It was weeks. I didn't respond. She hit me with "Good morning." I was surprised that I even got that. Then I was like, "Hey, good morning. How's your day going?" "Fine."
Look,
Do I gotta keep asking the? Do I gotta keep asking the questions in this? Like,
I think you're overanalyzing the text
probably I'm
message.
real smart
because everyone, people are. I think everybody is overanalyzing how
That's probably
they
right.
text when they first meet somebody. Like for me, I know I'm a terrible texter,
That's
or
what
like
I'm a
when it
great
comes to
texter.
that, because like I'm usually at work and I'm like my phone may not be with me.
but you would initiate a text if you was at work.
But here's the difference.
But
So-
but I'm also not gonna give you a story. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, what the fuck you want to know?
I got
oh, you
You're right. Hey, you
Like,
lying, bro.
I'm be like, oh,
Ant.
I'm so fantastic
No,
today.
Ant, no.
I woke up on
No,
the good
no.
side of the bed.
My point-
I hit
Ant.
the gym.
Ant,
I
you
did
lying.
this. I'm gonna be like, look,
My point is not the brevity. My point is that you be like, "Oh, my day's cool. How's yours?"
So I think that
Like it would
So
be
you,
given.
I think the issue is you want her to be more interested in you via text.
This is the meeting
I
we got
can
right
under-
now.
I can
This is
understand.
what you got until I'm taking you out.
I can understand that, but I think you got. I think
those
I
are
would
gonna get catfished.
I would get. Look, to me, I think, and this is
You're gonna get some real interesting text
This is
messages
real.
after this episode
Send
comes
me
out.
IG.
all right for anybody who I think is dating or like meeting people. To me, is like you got to put when you meet people, you got to put a timeline on that. You can, I would say, a week max in terms of
Take a nap?
No, in terms of whether you're going to decide this is something you're going to invest any amount of
So I
time
should
in.
stop texting.
So, but like if you say you meet somebody out and you're like, okay, you got a number or whatever, then you got to set up a time. You guys are going to get coffee, you're going to get drinks,
Something.
just to
listen,
a baseline,
I think
I
this
hear
is
you
the
guys.
difference with that,
and not
with the
waste
digital
time
thing.
texting.
I hear you guys.
My wife and I
But
were talking about this because we started, dating or whatnot back in 2010.
May or may not gonna give you a different perspective,
Right,
but it's
and
cool.
so
I
this-
appreciate it.
And though 2010 is not that far ago, it is pre kind of the Tinder,
Almost a decade, but yeah.
The digital connection wasn't as strong, right? Really, all you had back then was poking on Facebook, right? That was it.
Yeah, around that-
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
And nobody really knew what that meant, right? But now it's like all this digital connection that, you can be anybody that you want online, but you can't be anybody that you want when you're face to face. You have to be a version of yourself. And so,
You can only fake so much.
you can only fake so much face to face, right? That's why I said I'm 6'3" online,
Yeah.
But if you meet me, I'm not. I'm just south of 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? But just like a hair. But that there's a disconnect that I think that happens as the digital age has come of the expectation that we should get deep in this digital space because we're talking about the construct of marriage and these progressions of relationships to marriage isn't a digital thing.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's not a digital thing. But
I
the
can get as deep
expectation-
as you want. Let me tell you,
It's facts.
I'm not arguing with. Like I think we talking past each other. I'm
No, we're
not.
not, because we all three the married people saying the same thing.
No, listen. That's why I feel like I'm not. Touche. That's why I feel like I'm not communicating well. I feel like I'm not speaking to the depth of how the conversation is going. I just feel like, there's a level of exchange, like a fluidity of the exchange that you should have to be like, we vibing. Even like I get that, like if you meet in person and you vibe in a certain way, it's not gonna be the same way via text that you got.
I was like, have y'all met? Like,
Yeah, we met in person first.
how's that been?
It was good enough for me to get a number and be like, I want to see.
So have y'all done it prior, like after? Like,
Her test game was weak, so I told her.
What he's saying is, it was intriguing enough face to face that he wanted to move it to the digital space to see if it worked to come back to a face to face.
No, because that's an interesting way to put it. But but I'm just saying, like we met, it was cool. It wasn't like a setup. It was a house event.
Yeah,
it was cool, good conversation, got information. But like on continuing the conversation via text, it was very much felt one sided. And so because
some people are just terrible texters,
and I feel like I get it, and maybe it's just my expectation of people to communicate who they are. I'm just I prefer to talk.
Have y'all talked on the phone?
No, I don't want to call it because it's just whack on the.
See?
It's
It's
whack via
like,
text.
let me regress this relationship from face to face.
What time?
to
Don't say relationship. It's the person I met. It ain't no relationship yet. It was just.
Okay,
This interaction.
let's
Words matter.
let's do a social experiment. Call her and see how it goes.
I think I've been so turned off by the text. I
don't even real life connection is better.
See, even your son laughing. I don't even want to call her because I feel like the text has been so whack. I'm just like, fuck. Like, you too? I don't want to call the girl from daycare. Yeah, you don't either. Yeah.
Well, look, this is what I tell.
I'm gonna take. Listen, I will. We got to move on. I'm gonna take your advice. I will call her at some point this weekend. And then I'm gonna tell y'all how whack it was afterwards. We got to move on. Since we're talking about dating, do y'all think it's different dating and courting a woman, or is it the same thing?
For sure,
100%.
What's the difference? And from when you met your wife, did you start courting her?
Well, I'm gonna give this to Dorian because this was. Did you court officially? Yeah.
I think it's just intention. Like
Tell the people. I'm just listening.
I think the biggest thing.
I agree with you.
I think the biggest thing is like being intentional with everything that you do, as opposed to just
going with the wind,
just going with the flow.
Texting.
Like no, I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just being intentional, and then having the mindset like, okay, this has a potential to be this. I'm going to be intentional of what I do to see where it goes, as opposed to just
so. There's a degree in which you like. So for
this
me,
is how I define it.
Define it, please.
For me, right? Because I'm sure somebody on here is going to come up with some Webster definition and whatnot.
Loser.
For me, courting is the act of working towards marriage, right?
Yeah.
You start the relationship with the idea that you're working towards marriage, and along that route, if there is a disconnect or some non-negotiables, you part ways. Whereas dating is more of, let's just see where this goes. Like there's no true, like Dorian said, there's no true intent. It's more of, if the wind takes me left, I'll go left. Versus, no, this is where we're headed.
Yeah.
Our goal is to head to the aisle, to be married, to be husband and wife. And everything is driven in that purpose. And so your steps are a little more ordered when you're going courting than when you're dating. Dating, you're just,
But isn't in the court, do you ever feel like it's like me, individual, I'm courting immediately, or you were dating and then, it's always you were dating and then courted?
No. I mean,
I'll break it down this way, and I don't know if this makes sense, but you could date multiple people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you can only court one.
That's
I
facts.
agree.
But you can only court one.
I agree with you.
You can't date other people while you're courting one.
You can't.
You can't.
Not if you're courting because of the intent of why you're there.
Hey, best friends,
Yeah.
I just learned something.
yeah.
I'm like, if that person feels like they're number one, then she's being courted.
So if you add everything that we all just said, that the intention of like marriage.
No, I get it. So, but it's important to have that distinguished between y'all and it be consistent among y'all, because not the same my personal experience and women that I've dated, but like friends that I have, and they're like, this guy did X. If you're gonna court me, then you got to do. And you correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a process to get to when you realize you want to court someone. It don't happen. You don't meet someone from jumping like, I want to court you. You can, but it's not.
I think the decision could be like, I don't know if the introspective, being like, you know what, I'm not dating anybody, but I'm gonna meet somebody and I'm gonna court them because this is what I want to do.
You have the intent. Like if your intent when you start the relationship is to have fun and see where it's going, you're not courting. Right? But if you approach a relationship from jump or, post the text message time frame and your intent is to discover if this is the woman you should marry, there's a different way that you're going about that relationship other than when it's, let's see what happens.
I hear you. And I posted something that was like, hey, here, I think when I think about people they're single, there's 4 phases that people are in. And typically it's what they want from the other person. And the first one was like nothing. They like love life. They're in a good space and they're happy where it's going with or without you being around. There's people that just want casual fun. They dating or want to date. It don't have to mean anything. And it's just it could mean something, but it don't have to, and it's whatever. There are people that want something real, and I think that's that courting phase that you guys are talking about, that where your actions and intentionality really set the tone for what you guys are doing. And there are people that are healing, like, hey, I just got out of some shit, and I'm open to some new stuff, but I don't want no pressure.
I think what you would see if we could do a real sample size, people that are courting versus those that are dating. People that are courting get to the point of marriage quicker than those that are dating.
Very true.
Oh,
because the people that are dating take a year or two and then decide that they're going to flip the switch to courting or whatever you want to call it. That, this is where I want to be. Whereas people that are courting have gone through all that. They've worked through all those things. They've had those dialogues. And they're matriculating to that point, and they're courting for a year.
Yeah, I feel like a year is being generous.
It's being generous, right? That's probably on the long side. Yeah. No, real life
courting, and then
people that are courting may be engaged by the 9-month mark.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think my goodness, what happened?
No, he was stuck. We were blocking his access.
Anyways. Fake crying behind. This is what kids do when adults are having too much fun. They start crying.
He courted you.
He courted me. He had intentions behind interrupting this podcast. No, I hear what you guys are saying, and I'm not disagreeing. Where I have a room to grow is that I'm trying to understand. Let's say you're in that place where you're like, I want to be intentional. I want to meet someone so we can get to that point. You meet 4 people. All 4 of them, you like, and you vibe with them.
You're dating.
But my point is, you're dating them, and then over time, according to y'all, for 2 months, you realize. According to y'all, I got 60 days to figure out do I want to court you or not.
60 days is plenty of time to figure it out.
I'm not, and I would argue that, but for this, I'm not arguing with you on that. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of women that I've talked to had that expectation, because you guys said it's different from how you guys are being treated, how you treat someone that you're dating and you're courting, that like you're one of those, in this example, you're one of those 4 people we've met, and day 1, I want court treatment. I want to be courted. And if you ain't doing the courting, you ain't serious about me as a person for you. And it's like, I just met you. I don't know if I want to court you yet. We were just cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you're making some assumptions.
I'm telling you what people have told me and what I've seen.
When you're talking about courting doesn't mean that, we go on this first date and I'm going to give you a ring and I want you to hold it.
No, I didn't say proposing. It just said.
But I'm saying it's an act and an intention towards marriage. It doesn't mean that you can't get off of that train, right? Because you're learning each other and you're discovering each other for the purpose of marriage. Now, if we go 2 weeks in and I have the intent of wanting to grow a family, and you never want to have kids,
then you got dead it.
But that doesn't mean that you weren't courting up until that point.
But so I don't counter you guys to say that you guys are wrong. I am working through.
Sounds like it.
I'm working through the processes of understanding. Right. I don't see how you can meet someone and just know that I want to court you.
Because you
haven't met that person. Maybe you're so mad at they text messages.
Yeah, you haven't met that person.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that might be it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a theme, people are like, what have you learned? And I think a theme of people I've talked to so far is when they knew, they knew.
Yeah.
And they never said oh, I know this is going to be perfect, or I'm not going to have any issues. But there was a level of certainty that they had, whether they said it explicitly or I could hear how they were talking about that person, that was the right person for them to move forward with.
So, are you in the headspace of your next relationship is marriage?
I would like my next serious relationship to be.
Well, that's where the intent part is off.
Yeah,
coach me up.
Well, no, it's like you're going into. I'm going to use relationship. You use serious relationship, but that gives room for another relationship to not be serious.
Right.
Exactly.
Therefore, there is no intent of this person becoming my wife. Whereas if you're courting, the mindset is the next person that I meet. Not that sounds
yeah. The person you meet.
Because you meet a lot of people throughout the day.
That's my point.
But no, you know the difference between somebody that you met that's going to be a business associate, and somebody that you want to take time.
The next
to
girl I
learn
take
and
on
grow.
a date, I don't know that I want to court her. Is what I'm saying.
But courting her doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you have to propose. It's the act of being committed to this relationship and learning to the point that marriage would be our inroad if that is where we're headed. That's the difference.
And you do that all. There's no like simultaneous work.
What's simultaneous? Are you talking about a second woman?
Yeah, like you met multiple people.
That's not courting though, bro. Like there's no intentionality.
That's what I'm saying. You date. You just dated. Look, this thing is like,
and it's cool if you want to date.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that.
But can't you date to court to like figure out if you want to court?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, in theory.
That's presumably what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a lane I'm in. But I feel like a lot of women are in the because it's probably the best way to put it. They're in the I'm courting.
Yeah, this is the
it's like hard because like you
want-
being courted. You know, like you're not doing the work, you're receiving.
But the all right. So if you're a man and you're dating
to court,
and the women are there.
The women don't
be courted.
know
Be courted.
that they're being courted or dated. Like I guess.
Yeah, no, and
so
that's the dilemma. Yeah.
I mean that's the reality. I mean that's what happens.
Yeah,
every day.
That's the point. So I think we just got into like the terms that make sense. I'm in this phase. And I think a lot of guys are like, I want to date with the hopes that I find someone that I would want to court. And I think a lot of women are like, I'm ready to be courted.
Well, see, the problem is you are sitting right next to the guys that want to date just to date.
Yeah. So we look the same.
Y'all look exactly.
I'm like,
the
you don't
same.
know what shit I bring to the table.
You know, I'm gonna get a few more
That's
female
fair.
followers.
That's fair. That's
Give me
fair.
a few more female followers, and then they salty because they kept running into all these jokers that date.
Exactly. No, exactly.
And then you are them. But that's where you have to differentiate yourself.
Right. I need to.
You look just like them, and then you mad because she won't only say okay. No, because she done texted a bunch of other dudes that just wanted to date and said something stupid like "you coming through tonight."
Exactly.
And that's who you are now.
I didn't ask that question,
but it doesn't matter. You are in that pocket because you look just like they do.
I struggle.
Because all them texted, and she waiting for somebody to say, "Can you meet up for coffee?" And you look just like this other cat.
I don't want to take you for coffee yet.
You know what? I think we just finished the podcast.
It's true.
He hit the head on the nail on the head.
You did hit it on the nail on the head, but I feel like it goes both ways because I think like this, and these are things I struggle with, and so like I think that there's sometimes you guys all like talk to chicks, women. I don't call them chicks. You guys all talk to women and like
just lost 3 followers.
I'm a work in process. So you have all met women, and it's like you didn't know where you wanted it to go when you met her, and so your actions might have gave off a different presumption because you was like, hey, I know she wants to go to get coffee. You know, I got 2 months to make. You know, so you're doing all these things that like both of y'all like I'm just trying to figure this person out, and I think women tend to get data points quicker than men do on what's important, and so she's starting to look at you like, okay, this could be my guy. And speeding up the process now that she recognizes that when you like, well, I was just trying to get to know you, I didn't know what it was. When in your heart, you knew what it was. Like, you knew, like, I don't know about this person yet. But your actions are not dictating that because you don't want to be in this bucket like all these other dating people. And it's like, why would we play this game? Because there's guys out there doing everything they're supposed to be doing, knowing that they just here for nothing or they just having casual fun. But they're giving off courting vibes.
Yeah.
And then women get the women, for no fault of their own, get their feelings hurt because they want guys that are giving off courting vibes. And there's a lot of guys giving off courting vibes that don't want to court. And you're like what lane do you play in?
I mean, I think that's the hard part when you're dating. But I mean, it's you're going to have men or women on both sides that are going to give the right signals, but for the wrong reasons. But this is why I told you earlier, like when you meet somebody, whatever the circumstances, I would give it a week to make that determination on what it's going to look like. I mean, you can make that, meaning like, all right, I meet you, we text, or let's meet up for coffee. I do something that is not going to involve alcohol. Yeah. So you can have a legit conversation, and through that conversation, you can get a sense of like, all right, what is this person like? If you're asking the right questions. If you're just like, all right, well, anyway, like to me, it was always like, all right, well, you ask about obviously the baseline stupid questions about what they do, where they're from, whatever. and then ask questions about family, about their values or whatever. And I think if they're turned off by that, or if they can't answer those questions, if you're at that stage, then you're like, all right, they're clearly not ready to even be in this type of relationship. Because, and this is for people who are like, obviously, we're in our mid 30s at this point.
Bro, we're not mid yet.
I'm mid. I just turned 34.
Yeah, I ain't mid. I still round down.
I got like 9 months before I'm mid.
I'm 33, bro.
But like, you know, when you're 21, like you ain't really thinking about this. 25, you have all this other stuff going on. But like, if you in your 30s, presumably you've been in a relationship or some relationship. I think that makes it. I think that's
dated. The key. I think when you're in that age, everything seems very much more like intentional. It has to be intentional or like purposeful. Probably the best word. And so like that makes it feel like there's more at stake in every interaction than like it's whatever. And I think that's probably the key to it. And so I hear what you guys are saying. And as a person that wants to grow, I'm gonna ask this individual to get coffee. You know, I'm gonna go to like some boutique coffee place she had never been before. You know, not Starbucks, where you know she can get whatever she wants because it's affordable. But keeping it going. We talked about like your partnership and stuff. You know, I've heard. You know, you go to the weddings and you hear people say, "Hey, you know, this is my best friend," and we talked about that before. And you know, you complete me and yada yada yada. I want to know, like, from your perspective, when you were in that season, what were you looking for from your partner? Were you looking, and do you think it's important? Were you looking for your best friend? Were you looking for someone that completes you? Were you looking for someone that truly makes you better? Were you looking for someone that, based off of how they handle life, this is someone that I know I can go to war with, and we're gonna be good in how we approach things? Like, what were you guys looking for when you guys were in that point, leading up to meeting your now wife?
I would say for me, I was looking for somebody to challenge me. And when I say that, it's just more or less of, okay, what am I doing? Okay, how are you trying to get better? Like, you know, and just in every aspect of life, challenge me to get better. And, you know, if it was something that she didn't agree with, she was going to let me know. And, you know, just being able to have those dialogues. I'm like, okay, this is a different perspective.
I imagine in a healthy manner.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, being able to have that conversations, and I'm like, okay, this is a different perspective I've never had. So it's like, okay, I was able to look at things from a different perspective. So for me, it was like someone to not only help me become a better person, but also challenge me in different aspects.
Yeah, that's real. I get it. That's important.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? If you weren't looking for nothing, it just kind of happened. Because it happens. Sometimes people are just great people just fall in your lap.
Well, I know, like, the cliche answer is like, or my answer is cliche, is like, I was looking for a partner. So like one of my checkpoints, it may be weird, but one of my checkpoints was like, if I could travel with somebody and like spend an extended time with just them and not be like completely annoyed by what's going on, we got something. Yeah. And I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's weird, but like being able to spend,
it tells you something.
Like when you spend 48, 72, you know, of just you all and in a city where it's so many things could go right, so many things could go wrong.
A lot of dead time.
And you can enjoy that entire time and come back and not be like, yeah, I ain't trying to deal with that anymore. For me, that said something. And so, you know, we started dating because I enjoyed her, all aspects of her. She challenged me. The drive, the ambition that she had, and what her career was, and but you know, we went on our first vacation, and we just had a blast for 4 days, maybe 5 days, and it was just us, 100% of the time, right? I knew something, like this was somebody I could spend a lifetime with. Of course, you're going to get frustrated in marriage. Like, it happens. You get frustrated. But that was my kind of marker. And I was just looking for a partner that I could just do life with, all aspects of it. The tough ones, the easy ones, and everything in between.
Cool. No. Makes sense. What about you, Ant?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I was at a point where, you know, I was looking for someone that, you know, had strong head on their shoulder, but then really in terms of relationship wise, just gonna hold it down. Someone who just kind of knew what they want and was gonna come into this like knowing that it's gonna be work, but that if we're at least dedicated to each other, that like it will work out. And I always say, tell us about my wife, like, she's loyal to a T, but she holds it down on many, many levels and many respects across the board. And that's something I can never really, like, I don't have to worry about that. Like, it's hard to even put into words, but like that for me was the most important, because I just felt like it's hard. It was a hard quality for me to find, dating or whatever. So,
man, I'm glad you found it. I'm looking for a lot of those qualities too in my next partner. But one thing I do know right now is that we got to wrap this up. It's been a good conversation. Y'all beat me up a little bit, but I appreciate you guys sharing information and helping me be better and expand my perspective of how I'm receiving and perceiving certain things that are going on. Appreciate you guys for being here today. Appreciate everyone that's listening to this podcast. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Remember to subscribe to I Think I Love My Wife podcast. Follow us on IG, I Think Love Wife. Tell your friends, tell your family members about this. Next episode, which will be the last episode of season 1, where we're going to bring Ant, Paul, and Dorian back and conclude our conversation, where we're going to talk about bringing spirituality and religion into a relationship and who takes the lead, the decision to have kids, lessons learned in marriage so far, and things that are tripping people up on the dating scene. Keep sending your questions and topics, and we'll make sure we hit them. Until then, I hope the conversation keeps going.